Okay, we're going to look at something called the gradient intercept method for sketching a linear function. Well, if you have all lines can be put in this form, all linear functions can be put in this form, y equals mx plus c. What does that mean? Or f of x equals mx plus c. Well, m stands for the gradient. If you put a linear equation in this form, that number in front of x is the gradient. And gradients are really important in math. And the number added on is called the y-intercept. It's where the line crosses the y-axis. Well, let's just try a question. Let's take a look at it. Say we have sketched the function f of x equals 2x minus 1. Well, the easiest thing to do is to graph the y-intercept because you just let x equal 0 to get the y-intercept. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, so y equals minus 1. Well, that's half your answer. Just put a point at minus 1. Now, the coefficient, the number in front of x, that is the gradient. If it's not a fraction, you can make it a fraction, like say it's an integer like 2, by just making it 2 over 1. And now that number is really special, that gradient. You can use it to sketch your graph. All you do, this is what you do. You go to the y-intercept, and then you do two things. That number in the bottom is called the run. It's the change in x. And all you do is go 1 to the right, 1 to the right. And then the number on top is called the rise. And from that point, you go 1, 2, up. And that is called the gradient, 1 along and 2 up. Oh, and I see a little mistake here. If you're at minus 1 and you go 2 up, oh, you will be at 1. But if you go 1 along from 0, you'll be at 1 and 1. So there's a little mistake in the notes, and I'm going to fix it up right now. I'm going to change that right to a 1 because it should be 1 and 1, shouldn't it? It should be 1 and 1, not 2 and 1. If you go 1 along, you're going to be 1 along. That's what you're going to be. So just bear with me here a little bit here while I get the color right, and I'm going to just put it in there, and I'm going to make it the right size. I'll make it like about 24. Okay, that took a while. That's 1 along and 1 up. Now it looks right. So the run is 1, and the rise is 2. So if you're down at minus 1 and 0, and you go 1 to the right, you'll be an x value of 1. But if you're at minus 1 and then you raise 2, you'll be at 1. So it's 1 and 1. And that's how you use the gradient and the y-intercept to sketch a graph. There you go.